Hello, everyone. If that doesn't jizz you up on a Friday at lunchtime in Perth, Australia, I do not know what will. So welcome to everyone who's joining us from around the world. My name is Karen Weaver and I am the founder of KMD Books, that is the proud publisher behind The Power of Connection, inspiring business stories of growth and triumph. And before we bring up some of the amazing people who were the driving force behind this book and the business leaders behind it, who drew in the amazing co-authors within it, and I must stress, this is now a number one best-selling book. So congratulations to all of the authors. I just want to read the blurb because it gives the essence of the book, and you're just going to get it whenever you read this, and the heart that's in District 32, which is the business behind this amazing book. Business can never be described as easy, but what if there was a way to leverage the knowledge, experience, and expertise of others so you could better navigate the challenges and triumphs that face all business owners and entrepreneurs? This was the motivation that has seen District 32 survive 10 years as a collaborative business growth community with members who have a passion to support each other towards success. It was also the motivation behind this book, to support your business journey by bringing together the experiences, stories, and learnings of business owners whose perseverance, growth, and genuine hard work have taken them on unexpected journeys of growth and, in some cases, triumph in its many forms. All journeys in life are constant works in progress, but we hope these stories and all the lessons shared inspire you to take the step you've been longing to take in business and beyond. Love it. And on that note, I would like to welcome Tracy and Lorraine and Dean to the stage. Welcome, guys.
Hi. How's it going?
We have been having fun, haven't we, with this? We were hanging out in Yegan Square and then in Stories for a wonderful celebration. And now here we are after a 3-day online launch, become bestsellers, and now we're celebrating together. And it is about the power of connection. That's what makes things like this happen, isn't it? Lorraine, I'll go to you first.
It certainly is. Before you know it, you're in Yegan Square. Yeah, it's it's a beautiful project. It's a beautiful way to demonstrate people coming together and what can happen when people come together and connect. It's been a very exciting, new, just beautiful thing to get involved in. To come together and to write a book is phenomenal. There's a little bit of magic in there. There's
a lot of magic, and to watch all of the members of your community shine through their stories and really just hone in on the 2,500 words isn't a lot to be able to share a whole business journey, but it's definitely a start to give an insight into the people behind that and to watch them shine and show up and deliver, because it's no mean feat to write a chapter, go through the editing process, and then watch as it makes its way out into the world, isn't it?
It is, and I think as you read story after story, it's no mean feat to do the business either.
No.
And then to summarize it into a chapter. But story after story was just about who you need to become. Who you need to become as a person to make it in business. It was really interesting. And then reading everybody's stories, it's like, I've known you for 10 years and I've never talked to you about that. I've known you for X years and I didn't know that about you. So that was really wonderful again. But I really enjoyed again, it's the personal development journey behind the business growth. And that's what makes us connect in a community. That is the power of connection. It's the sharing. It's the war stories. It's the scars. We've got and that's what it is. It's the stories and the resilience that we've got that makes us stick together and have build really relationships on the same. I'm trying not to say the word trauma. the same struggles.
Well, with personal growth in business, it comes hand in hand, and that's where the character shines through, because so many businesses don't make it to the 10-year mark, don't they not?
That's right.
And Tracy, so to for you to be in business and hosting these amazing people and businesses in your hub is it's nurturing, because you have the story behind you guys. that can help facilitate and help other people grow, not give up. And one thing I love about District 32 is the humor, the energy, the lightness of the heaviness that can be business. It's a place to just breathe, I think, which is just
come and be yourself. It's okay to be you.
Yes. Yeah. Beautiful. Dean, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, well, I suppose District 32 is all about the power of connection. Like, we all need that kind of support, motivation, inspiration, as well as the opportunities. But I think I suppose the ethos of District 32 was kind of like a business co-op from when we started. So I think the book kind of mirrors that to a large extent. It's a collection of D32 members who are who are good friends of we're all good friends in business, and we've all supported each other over the years. So it's a good reflection of District 32 in a snapshot as well.
Yeah. And there's just a genuine care for each other. I believe there that everyone cares about each other's business and supports it and shares it. I just think it's beautiful. All right, Tracy, where we get into these interviews, do you have anything to add?
I think
Tracy?
so.
Sorry.
I just, when we've talked about this already this week, but, just the vulnerableness that people shared, and just actually being authentic and open. It was just fabulous to work with these stories. It was really good.
There's a bit of bravery in there.
Yeah.
That vulnerable. I was like, good on you.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a safe space where you're held and you'll be supported. So it is that place to be able to step on and share that, and maybe even free the author from some things that they've kept close to their chest, which is good. Okay. All right. So we're going to interview you first, Lorraine, about your experience and your chapter, which is Get Out of Your Own Way, The Power of Surrender. Now, when I was typing this in, I was like, I love this chapter title. It's like, Get Out of Your Own Way. Can you speak to that for us all?
This is one of these lessons in life that just keeps coming up to bite you. You think you've got it, and then you get another lesson. You think you've got it, and you get another one. Just for me, it was just, you just get in your own way. You set yourself a plan. You give yourself, in business, this is what I'm going to do. This is how it's got to be. And then you get so focused on that, or I get so focused on that, and I get so stressed and rigid around that. This is how it's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen. Drive. And that's just not the energy to bring to business. It just doesn't happen like that. And by being so focused on what you're going to achieve and how you're going to achieve it, actually takes away from the magic of how it can happen anyway. If you just get out the way, you're open to so many more potentials that you just can't see. When you're focused on, I got to do it like this and I got to do it like that, and it gives you headaches. That was a big lesson for me, about a year ago. And it was not just get out the way, but also because we worry, don't we? Right. As business owners, it's ongoing worry around cash flow, sales. And then the bigger you get, the more responsibilities you've got. So it's people's wages, it's insurance, it's all these things. And you take more and more on. And I think in my chapter, I'm talking specifically about just getting to a stage where I just can't drive like this anymore. I just had to let it all go. I got to my own personal breaking point. I can't live like this anymore. I don't care what happens. I can't live like this anymore. And literally taking out a pen and a piece of paper and writing down, where will I live? Where will I go? How will I pay school fees? Who will help me? This person won't help me see me homeless. And it was putting that down on a piece of paper and then just letting it go and saying, okay, well, I am okay with this. And then when I was okay with it, I was able to have a different energy. I wasn't running like this, I must make it. Fear and pressure. And when you remove that and you're okay and surrender to what is rather than what you foresee life should be and how it should happen, magic can happen. So that was really a bit of my journey and my chapter.
Yeah, you're speaking to my heart. And isn't it, whenever you have peace of mind and you allow things in and to flow in naturally, rather than that fight, as if you're fighting for or something, the energy is different, and so then the results are different, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You just attract more of the same, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm like this frantic maniac,
And she's still smiling, guys. So she's still smiling. She's okay. She got through it. And that's the thing about this book is those tips and tricks are from lived experiences, aren't they? Like you had to, as the leader in this book, you and Dane both had to show up and be vulnerable and share as the leaders in this book and also in District 32, but to show the way. But the story in itself helps people to connect in with you and see the driving force behind the passion that is this community.
Yeah, I think that's really important for business owners to know that it's like some of the times when I do some guest events and I'll stand up and I'll say, you think that everybody in this room has got their act together. Well, they don't. And you see all the shoulders go down. It's okay to be stressed. It's okay to be chasing this. It's okay to not have everything together. And I think it's an important message to business owners, that it's okay. We've all been through it. Where bums have hit the deck, So yeah, a powerful message for business owners.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. All right, thank you so much, Lorraine. Dean, we're going to pick on you now.
Oh, good.
Now and then. So you've just left us thinking whatever, now and then. What does this mean, Dean?
I suppose I was reflecting on like I was 32 years in business development and sales, so I mean it's changed so much over that period. But I suppose particularly for me, reflecting on working with business owners through District 32, what you find with business leaders, generally they're geniuses at what they do, whether it's accountancy and IT, but they tend to struggle maybe in the front line with business development and sales, and it's not really that complicated, really. If you kind of think about it, it's just two people having a conversation. I know there's a lot of psychology and stuff around it, but I mean, I think that comes with experience. But a lot of the fundamentals it really is just having a conversation with someone else. So that was, I suppose, I was trying to pass on some nuggets, maybe of it's not that complicated, really. It's just being yourself and having a conversation with that prospect or client. So yes, that was my motivation.
I'm pretty sure Now and Then is the title of the latest Beatles.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I was honestly trying to replicate the Beatles Now and Then to number one in a publication as well. So there you go.
There you go. It's your magic that's made it happen. Oh, and really, who knew you were so wise, Dean? Like really and truly, I've known you for quite a few years, and you're so relaxed and cool, calm, collected. But you have this driving force that's behind you, and probably Lorraine kicking you along to make it all happen.
Yeah. Well, she was till she decided to let go. And that just had a chain reaction throughout the team then. So I was more cool, calm, and collected. So that's only a recent. But I had 7 years of being hyper and all that stuff.
Part of the journey.
We should have redone these interviews separately, really.
Yeah.
It's all good. We're getting in the back behind the scenes. Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much, Dean, for that. Like really, honestly, it's a really good chapter, and I know that you and Tracy had some fun bringing it to life. So thank you.
Cheers.
I would like to welcome Karen to join us. Karen, there you go, Karen Whiteley. Thank you, Karen. How are you going?
Hi, Karen. How are you?
Yeah. So, Karen, your chapter is called "What Happens to You Doesn't Define You," and so I feel some lived experience behind this. Can you share with us the fuel and passion behind your chapter?
I think we've all got a story, don't we? And for me, I've got a story that's not necessarily unique, but it was, the journey that got me to where I am today. And, I was kicked many times, not physically, but, life threw me so many curveballs. And you can let that define you, those kinds of things. but I was just so determined to get out of situations that I'd been in, have control over my own destiny without having, and I guess even if I look at my history, you know, I could have easily stepped out of that, but, you know, that's just the way it was at the time, and I was young and naive as well. But I was just so determined to become, you know, I need to make a difference in the world. And I really, I want that to be my legacy. I want to look back and go, look at the changes that I've made for business. Because business is tough. You know, we've all talked about that. You know, it's just, you know, I always call it a rodeo. It's a really, it takes resilience, doesn't it? So whatever you've experienced, it doesn't have to define where you're going in the future. And for me, it has formed me to the person that I am today, and how I feel about life and where I'm going and the legacy that I'd like to leave.
Such a powerful message, because a lot of things can rattle us, traumatize us, shake us, but it doesn't have to define us. But it does become a part of the person we grow into, and it does help us move along if we don't get stuck in it. And it does take courage to, you know, with all the battle wounds and go forward. And you were talking about that determination that you had. Like, you were determined. There was nothing that was going to stop you. You just picked yourself up and said, I'm going to change this chapter in my life and start writing a new one. And that's what you've done. And I love how you shared that in your chapter, Karen. You've been very vulnerable. Tracy, Lorraine, Dean, do you want to add to that?
Well, I think that, you know, Karen definitely shared the vulnerable side of herself in her chapter, and it's a very emotive chapter for sure. It's you know, and it does absolutely show the resilience that she's had to basically change her life around. So yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Thanks, Tracy.
Lorraine?
Sorry, I think Dean was trying to say something there.
No, I was just going to say, I suppose since I first met Karen a good few years ago, I mean, you get the essence of resilience and strength, just even in conversations around business and strategy. So it shines through when you're in conversation with Karen. So so I'm not surprised when I read the chapter.
Thanks.
I was talking to someone today, and they said to get to know a person, you really got to know the depths of them. And I think whenever you have the courage to go there, you're rewarded in business and in life. So I think that huge kudos to you. We chatted at the launch, and it was really nice to get to know you. And I think that that's your courage sharing in this book will really. I can't wait for people to start going, I read your chapter, and because when a chapter gets to the person that was destined to read it, it changes them forever. So like, here's one of those chapters. So thank you.
I think that, you know, with all the vulnerability, you know, oh yes, and I was strong and I was determined and tenacious and all that other sort of stuff. That doesn't mean I didn't want to sit in the corner and rock myself, you know, and just, you know, this is all too hard. Just, you know, take me away from it all, because that's part of it too. It's just being able to get up and just keep going. You know, have your pity parties when you feel like it, but it's not having that pity party for too long. Just get the heck on with it, you know. And that's how I think I resonate with my clients, because some of them, business is tough, and you know, their story often is in some way similar to mine. So to give them just a snapshot, once we get to know each other, of my background, like, oh, you know, I'm not the only one dealing with this stuff, and we're all dealing with stuff in business. That's just what it is, and life is woven into that. So we've all got our story, but it's just, you know, get out of that corner, stop rocking, and just get on with it, you know.
Frame it differently. Expect the challenge and work through it rather than work against it, I guess.
Embrace the growth. Love it. Yeah. Karen, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and thank you for showing up for the Power of Connection.
Thank you for the opportunity. That's been wonderful. Thanks so much.
Take care. Oh, great. Who we got? Mavis, you're coming to join us now, Mavis. Welcome.
Hey,
Mavis
how are you
Carruthers.
going, Karen?
I am going good. How are you going?
Yay, fantastic. Thank you.
Your chapter is called Be Prepared to Pivot. This is a word that was thrown around a lot, especially during COVID. But we do always have to be prepared to pivot because things can change quickly, can't they, Mavis?
Absolutely. And that happened to us. We spent quite a lot of money on purchasing this business in 2019. It was based on doing shows all around the WA countryside. And we had quite a few shows in 2020 booked. And of course, March, we closed down with COVID, and I went in, and I'm very much, I've got to have money. I'm very focused on money. Not so much now, but I was still then. So it was really difficult. And so for 6 weeks, I did some online courses, and then WA opened up, or Perth opened up. And so instead of doing shows, we went to shopping centres and talked to people and pivoted that way. And that's what got our confidence up also, in talking to people, connecting with people whom we didn't know in all areas of Perth suburbs. Yeah.
And that is it. I've met you and your husband at the launch, and it was really interesting to hear your story, because you were supposed to be retiring, and then you ended up with the business, and then COVID happened and all of the things. But your energy and your positive optimism is just infectious. So I really, really just wanted to note on that. But yes, the thing is that whenever a way is taken away, if there's a will, you will find another way, isn't it, Mavis?
Well, that's right. And that year, our processes were pretty simple. Someone bought something, we delivered, and we processed the invoice. It was really easy. Then the next year, the third year, we started marketing. So we were getting way more leads, and we were seeing people differently, in a different light, in a different way altogether to face. And I realised that I was putting processes in place and Rob wasn't seeing it. And he says, "Oh, I don't have to do that." And I realised that we were in a bit of strife. And that was when I decided to join District 32. So that connection with other business people, and like Karen, who previously spoke, said, or someone said that sometimes you think business, it was Lorraine, everyone's got it together. And then when you say to the group, no, you haven't all got it together. Don't think everyone in this room's got it together. You're the only one who hasn't. And that's how I first felt when I entered. But very quickly, I connected with many people who have helped us in our business, helped us to pivot and do things in far more efficiently. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. It's a very important message to share, and that, it may be shocking, but when you take the optimistic approach in finding a solution, if you are solution focused, then the way will be shown, no matter what the circumstances. Amazing. Very inspiring.
And since we've launched, my self-confidence has just gone up, because I can carry myself with this amazing confidence that I may have looked like I had before, but it wasn't in here, it wasn't in the heart. And now it is. And so I have noticed that difference in myself in the last month or so, when we've been pre-launch and launch. Yeah.
Oh,
and you're not a first-time author, are you, Mavis?
I'm a third-time author now. First-time #1 seller, though.
Oh, congratulations. I bet your other books will be getting a little refresh cover now. #1 best-selling author. I love it. Awesome.
Yeah,
so glad to bring that
yeah.
to you.
Yeah, and it's prepared me to write my next book, which I've had on the cards for like 2 years. So it's given me the confidence to now. I've already written 1 chapter, so yeah, I'm cool.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. I'm very grateful to Dean and Lorraine and yourself and Tracy. Yeah, amazing support in getting this up and running and actually happening. Yeah.
Yay.
All right, Mavis, thank you so much for joining us and for joining us for this launch. I loved meeting you and I loved reading your chapter, so thank you. And I'm sure everyone here watching will be in going, okay, I'm going to go and learn how to pivot from Mavis. She knows her stuff. Thank you so much. Oh, Dean's back. He jumped out there. Did you need to go for a toilet break?
The internet just dropped out. All good. All good.
All good, all good. It's the way it goes.
Who's up
Norma.
next?
Norma
Yay.
is here. Norma, come and join us. Hello, Norma. How are you going?
I'm good. I'm good. Congratulations, guys. You've got a bestseller.
And to
Yay.
you do too.
Just standing
I'm a
off
part of
for
that
meeting
too.
today. So
Yeah.
congratulations to you too, Norma. Norma, your chapter is called Reflections of a Financial Planner. Can you speak to that?
Yeah. So I like storytelling. I'm actually quite emotional just listening to you all. Just give me a second. Oh,
And you're in a beautiful chair. Beautiful chair.
So I love stories. And I started to read our book, and I can't believe I'm so emotional. Lorraine, you made me cry.
It's usually
And
me, Norma.
I know, Dean.
For a different reason.
Oh, thank you. That's better. And I've actually started to, I got myself a highlighter, and I'm actually now reading that book with highlights and going, okay, that really is important. That's important. And I think for me, that's what this book has done. It's given everybody an opportunity. And for me personally, that's what District 32 keeps on doing. It keeps on creating opportunities for people to, and I've said this before, but to just step forward and to step up and to say, I don't actually know what I'm doing, but I believe that the parachute has been packed for me. So you know, I'm either going to fall flat on my face or the parachute's going to open. And in this case, I mean, we are flying now as authors that have come together from nothing. And that, I think, for me is the best part about storytelling, is that there is literally nothing there until you start to access memory and imagination and then bring it all together in words. And the written word is something different because it triggers your own imagination.
Yeah.
And for me, that so I mean, Lorraine, I found your chapter very interesting. Dean, I haven't got to yours yet because that was when I went to go and fetch the highlighter. Because I mean, Peter hasn't been interviewed yet, and he probably will. But I have literally read Peter's chapter aloud to
Wow.
4 different people, just going, "Holy, look at this!" You know, it's just success.
Gold.
And everything can turn. Everything can turn, and that's what the book has done for me as a consumer. And as an author, it's like the first tentative steps to go, hang on, this is not as difficult as I thought it could be. Like everything. So I guess I'll knock on Tracy's door at some point and go, okay, let's do this together. Help me.
Yeah, and that's the thing about being an author in one of these books, writing a chapter, it dips your toe in the water so you know what to expect if ever you decide to do your own book. But one of the things, Nora, that you touched on there that is a real honor and happy dance moment for Lorraine and Dean is whenever, like, you're a co-author, but you're also a reader. And when a reader gets out a highlighter, because there's key parts of text that just resonate and have impact and are so resourceful for a reader that they're going to keep going back to it, like that, you know, is a winning book, because like that's the ultimate goal, Lorraine. You know, Dean, the ultimate goal whenever you write a book. So thank you for sharing
It's
that.
giving me goosebumps for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you know, like I feel the emotion from you, Norma, and how connected you are to all of the co-authors, but also to District 32, and with the support of your business, and to be able to have that. How is that for you as a business owner?
Yeah, it makes a big difference. It really does. It's Lorraine and Dean have something very special that they've created. It's true. It's the authenticity of it all. It's the like Lorraine says, you know, she'll walk into a new member drive meeting and go, doesn't matter how big your turnover is, you're a month away from bankruptcy. you know, and it's a fact. It's just an absolute fact. And everybody that is inside of District 32 is showing up, fighting the good fight, you know, bringing their genius to the world and going, I'm trying the best I can. But luckily, we have hugely successful people that we can leverage off and ask for advice, and that's what they bring, Lorraine and Dean particularly. And you know, so like you and Tracy have had an opportunity even in your space to shine through giving every other author in the book an opportunity to shine, you know. So that is what they've done, that's what they bring, and it's all community.
Yes, absolutely.
It is
Yes.
community. I just love it. Thank you so much, Norma, for coming and joining us and sharing today. Thank you.
Thank you, Norma.
Yeah, Norma. Thanks, Norma.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. How does that make you guys feel to hear that from one of your members and co-authors?
Made my day.
Yeah.
It's absolutely good.
It's really special.
Yeah, no, it's amazing because I suppose you reflect on why we started District 32 all those years ago. So no, that was brilliant. So very humbled.
Beautiful. Okay, we're going to bring up Peter. Come and join us, Peter. Hello, Peter. How are you going?
Yeah, good to be on the call.
Yeah. Dean's glad to have another man up here beside him.
You can pick on Peter now.
Peter, your chapter is called Mentoring Matters. And as we heard before from Norma, she has embraced your chapter so much, she's read it out aloud 3 times to people. Like, how does that make you feel, and the power of your words?
Look, it confirms I made the right call by following through, because I wrote the chapter and I was going to pull it. I wasn't going to share it because it's quite personal, and you know, it makes me feel quite vulnerable. So I was pretty nervous about it being published. So Norma did do a shout out saying, "Oh my God, that was an amazing chapter." So, and something else that sort of happened quite recently where it sort of confirms the power of sharing that and your vulnerability and authenticity. And that's what this whole project's about, because it's going to add value to people's lives. It just is. There was an incident recently where one of probably Australia's top speakers was in a situation, and he actually took his own life. And this is only in the last 2 weeks. And it sort of showed me that me sharing that part of my life, which was, you know, many years ago. I mean, the whole subject is, you know, mentoring matters and models and people around us and being open and being aware, you know, and the whole "are you okay" thing. I mean, I've seen that in the past, and it was almost lip service, you know. And I think as business owners, and especially in the community that we're in, the culture of District 32, we've got to have that sensitivity to each other. You know, my chapter's not all about doom and gloom. It's, you know, a moment of crisis moment in my life that then, and you know, I mean, people that know me well, you know, part of my catchphrase is, you know, building a machine, and I strive to that. But having that authenticity, I think, and that openness really does make a difference in other people's lives. Mentoring, modeling, we're all mentors, you know, just by a way of being, we impact the people around us. You know, I share in my chapter, you know, for me, growing up in a small country town, you know, the mentoring around me was at 16, you do drugs, you know, at 18, you use harder drugs. Not very good modeling. So, you know, having an awareness of that around us, around our families, because it's more than just business, isn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely is. And what we've seen there between Norma and you is when someone shares a story and it reaches the hearts and mind of the person it's destined to reach, it has impact, it incites change, it creates, and it opens doors for conversations. And that is powerful. That is the power of connection and the power of storytelling, which this book is the essence of. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And just having that awareness, it's very powerful.
Peter, how did you personally deal with the feeling of being exposed, of sharing your story? As you said, you were about to pull your chapter, because a lot of authors deal with this. You know, it can feel like they're running around the streets naked. You know that they're exposing them. You know, it's just that. How did you deal with that for yourself? Because, yeah,
I think the biggest thing, like, you know, because especially as you get older, you know, you consider legacy more. What impact have you had on the world? How, you know, what impression have you left? And, you know, I've lost my parents. I've lost other people close to me. And, and I just wanted to make sure that, you know, my story was told and it'll make a difference for people. So I had to overcome that. There was a few calls, let me tell you, Tracy, I'm really, I'm going to pull it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to change my chapter. But yeah, look, I think I know it'll make a difference for people. So I just stuck with it.
It already
and no
has.
regrets. No regrets.
Nah, no regrets. Say that again, Tracy. What was that?
I said it already has made a difference.
Yeah.
It is. It's doing its work. Amazing. Lorraine, Dean, do you want to say anything with Peter?
So I say you're a legend, Peter Butler.
Yeah.
I also got the email. Peter wants to pull his chapter. No, he's not. I just think you're a legend, Peter. You know, we've spoken about this on 1-to-1. We're all teachers and we're all students.
Yeah.
And you know, through life, those hard lessons that we learn make us the best teachers and mentors, you know, for everybody else in life. And I think, you know, that the harder we fall, the greater the lesson, the more we can teach and the more we've got to give. So, just hats off to you. You're a legend.
Yeah. Cool.
Can I just add one thing? Actually, I think your chapter, Peter, really does display that we are the result of the people that we surround ourselves with. In so many ways, and that's why the community at District 32 is so powerful for business owners and personal, in a personal way as well, because you know, we need to surround ourselves with people that are going to lift us up and not bring us down.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know, we use the word authenticity, but, you know, quite often we always want to look good, right? We're all nervous about looking bad. You know, my fear of presenting, you know, to a room of people. You know, look, I can remember when I started networking 17 years ago. Oh, God, it was horrifying. I can remember as it went around the room, you know, everybody did their 60-second spiel, right? And it's like, oh, that's a good point. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. And I was going to use those points. And by the time it got to me, I had no idea what they were. I remember I stood up. I have no idea what I said. But I do remember when I sat down, because when I get embarrassed, my face glows red. And I have no idea what I said, but my face was glowing, it was pulsing. And so I've overcome that fear, you know, and the realization is it is just about being authentic, just saying what's there for you to say, nothing more than that. Doesn't mean to say that we don't get challenged when we stand up in a room to present, but they're all learnings. You know, the people in District 32 and in life have helped me to overcome those. So, you know, everything's a work in progress, right?
Absolutely. Gold from Peter. Thank you so much, Peter, for joining us and for sharing.
Pleasure.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're down to our last interviewee, co-author for the series. So we're going to welcome the wonderful Dina. Come and join us, Dina. Oh, here we go.
Hi, everyone.
Hey. Hi. I share something with you because 13 is one of my lucky numbers too, and that is the theme of your chapter. And we cannot wait to hear all about it. So can you speak to that for us?
Yes, so this is my second anthology. So I didn't want to go back into my story, which is probably to me boring by now. And I think a lot of the community in District 32 have heard the story before. And so I thought I'd use this chapter because since we started this business 4 years ago, thanks to Dean actually, because he saw I was free and I left my corporate job, and he said, "Oh, how about you come and help us and be a circle leader?" And that's how the agency was born, because he gave me the opportunity to see what was missing in the small business community. And then from there on, I got pretty busy to say the least. And we've just been growing. And I thought, well, the agency has grown, but I have grown a lot, and I'm not the same person that I was 4 years ago. So I thought, oh, what about if I share what I've learned? And I picked 13 because, that's my lucky number. And I thought if I don't stop it somewhere, it'd be 100 lessons. So 13 was probably good enough. And then, it's just everything I've learned since I started the business. And I'm leaving the corporate world where it was kind of a cocoon, so you can grow, but within boundaries. But with your own business, you just, the sky's the limit. And I've grown in every angle. I mean, personally, and also I've grown as a mom as well, which I thought taking risk and doing things like you don't realize until you look back. And like my daughter is quite entrepreneurial, and I think that comes from what she saw, like all the challenges that I went through and the lessons and how I've grown. And have friends now, which I didn't have when I was in corporate world. So there's a lot of personality change, and the growth mindset has evolved a lot. And I just wanted to share that with everyone.
Oh, I love it. And I love that this is a really good story of when someone sees something in you and the belief in that, and then that gives you the strength to take that step, of that courageous step into your own business, going from corporate, and now your whole life has changed because of that.
Yeah, exactly. And like I'll never go back, but also in a way I wouldn't be here without that first corporate experience. And I think when I look at, the business owners who are 4 years in, and if they don't have a experience in a bigger corporate world or seen how the big guys do it, it's very hard for them to take the right decision, because they're just trying. And for me, the experience I had before has helped me not just try, but I've seen it fail before, and I don't want to do the same thing. So I was like, oh, I'll just take the easy route. Like I know what's working, and I'll do that. So it's been really, it was challenging, it was scary, but there's no regret.
I love that your daughter now has, or his daughter, son has a entrepreneurial spirit. That's because they've witnessed your actions and how you're being courageous in your steps forward, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's hard. It's challenging because she's 14 now, and they're talking about career and jobs, and she doesn't know what she wants to do. And I'm thinking in myself, I'm like, of course you don't, because you're like an entrepreneur and you just want to, whatever you want to do, you can do. And it's very hard. She doesn't conform into, what school is trying to teach you to. What job do you want? And she's like, well, I don't want a job. And I'm like, okay, that's my doing.
Yeah. I can't wait to see that flower blossom. Dean, I want to touch on, come to you here, because you were such an instrumental part of this step for Dina. Can you talk to that and what you see?
Yeah, I suppose I met Dina fairly early when I arrived in Australia at a networking event, and we got on. I could appreciate the genius that Dina had at the time. So it was really kind of fortuitous to kind of cross paths, 5-6 years ago. And I kind of thought with her marketing strategy knowledge, she'd be a good circle leader. I'm just keeping in touch with her now. I'm waiting on a dividend. That's all.
Can we sort this out here on camera? Let it happen backstage.
So I keep an eye on the post every day, waiting on the check. But no, good.
Yeah. I saw some of the messages.
Your karma bank is folding.
I wish, but no, it's been great seeing how Dina's grown the business and grown herself over the last 5 years or so. So all well deserved through hard work and perseverance and stuff. So it's been brilliant to obviously be for District 32 part of that story as well.
You can just show you though that how one connection can be life changing in a wonderful way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just never know.
Yes.
Yeah, not just one I want to say that because a lot of people don't realize this, but for the first probably 2.5 years of my business, I didn't join any other network. I didn't have to. And I think that's the platform that District 32 has. Like when it's saying the power of connection is true, like, you connect with the right people, and just your business just takes on, and it's just crazy. So I know I have been part of other networks afterwards, but the quality of the connections, and I think Dean and Lorraine especially are key to that. It's the culture and the community. It's very different. So it has, everything in this community has helped me evolve a lot.
Oh, you can see it shine through that District 32 is the place to be. I just love it. Thank you so much, Dina, for sharing. We love it, and yeah, thank you for showing up and sharing your chapter.
Thank you. Thanks.
Cheers, Dina.
Well, guys, that's a wrap. How cool is that? And hearing all those stories. I think the essence of it all is that you guys are awesome, and what you do is awesome, and the space that you hold for others is awesome. And so huge congratulations to you and to everyone.
Thank you very much. Sometimes we get too busy to stop and smell the roses or look at the impact, or you're just on to the next thing. So just taking 5 minutes out to hear people's stories is inspiring to us. That's what keeps us going.
Yeah, and we didn't prep anybody behind the scenes. Like, that was all authentic sharing as well.
A big thanks to you guys for this. This is exciting. I've learned a new StreamYard, writing it down.
I love StreamYard. And StreamYard, you can go on multiple platforms at once, all different Facebook pages, LinkedIn, YouTube, everything. I love it. I love it so much.
Thank you for putting it together. Tracy's been a massive support in holding it all together. At this end, the champion through this. So massive thank you, Tracy.
Cheers, Tracy. Thanks a million.
I'm just excited that everyone's now #1 bestsellers, and we can really celebrate.
It's a hugely beautiful, energetic project that is only just starting, really. Like, this Power of Connection is a legacy book. You can see it being highlighted and researched in 100 years. One of those books that just holds what was happening back then. The world was a bit crazy. The guys at District 32 have got it together.
I suppose everyone back in Ireland knows what they're getting for Christmas off me anyway.
Yes, absolutely. They'll be all coming out, Dean.
I'd like to buy it. That's what they're getting.
Buy it.
That's what they're getting.
Yeah.
Just send them the link. All right. Thank you so much, Tracy. You're a star. And thank you, Lorraine and Dean. It's so good to have you here today. And everyone go and grab your copy of The Power of Connection by District 32. It's waiting for you to inspire you and your loved one. Makes a great Christmas gift.
Thanks, Karen.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.